I welcome all of you to the lecture Advanced Software Engineering and Technology. In previous lecture we discussed about the review analysis model. In this review the analysis model. There are various analysis model which we have taken from Jacobson's book, which published in 1999, and there are some questions for correctness. The following question should be asked to ensure that the model is correct. Is the glossary of entity object understandable by the user or not? These questions we have to ask. Do abstract classes correspond to user level concept? Are all description in the accordance with the user definition? Do all entity and boundary object have meaningful noun phrase as name? Do all use cases and control objects have meaningful verb phrases as names? Such type of questions we have to ask to make our model correct. When all these questions satisfied by satisfactory answer, then our model is correct. Are all error case described and handled in the model? And also there is another type of questions should be asked to ensure that the model is complete. For model is complete, each object it is needed by any use case, in which use case it is created, modified, destroy, can it be accessed from a boundary object? For each attribute when it is set, what is its type? Should it be qualifier? For each association when it is traversed, why was the specific multiplicity chosen? Can association with one to many and many to many multiplication be qualified? For each control object, does it have a necessary association to access the object? When all these questions will satisfy, participating in its corresponding use case, then we can say the model is complete. Again, there is another type of questions should be asked to ensure that the model is consistent. Are there multiple classes or use cases with the same name? Then the model is consistent. Do entity, example, use case, classes, attribute with similar name denotes the similar concepts? Are there objects with similar attributes and associations that are not in the same generalization hierarchy? These questions we have to ask for the consistent. Model is consistent. And also to check the model is consistent, we have to ask some questions for realistic. Model is realistic. There are many novel features in the system. Are there any novel feature in the system? Then our model will be realistic in future. Our model will not collapse. There the features is added already, which is required in some day, which is required in future, where any study or prototypes built to ensure their feasibility. Can the performance and reliability requires met, where this requirement verified by any prototypes running on selected hardware? These questions we have to ask. Were these requirement verified by any prototype running on the selected hardware? Then we can say the model is realistic. The requirement, this is the summary of analysis. The requirement elicitation activity is highly interactive. We are going to discuss in today's lecture summary, analysis summary, and it is requirement elicitation activity is highly interactive and incremental. Chunk of functionalities are sketched and proposed to the users and the client. The client adds requirement, criticize existing functionality, and modify existing requirement in the analysis. The developers investigate non-functional requirement through the prototyping and technology studies and challenges is proposal requirement. Initially, requirements elicitation resemble a brainstorming activity. We have to, before development of the software, we have to brainstorm, and as the description of the system grow and the requirement become more concrete, developers need to extend and modify the analysis model in more order manners to manage the complexity of information. This is the summary of analysis. There, the figure 5.19 depict a typical sequence of the analysis activity. The user, developer, and client are involved in the developing and initiating use case model. They identify a number of concepts and build a glossary of participating objects. These first two activities were discussed in previous chapter, and the remaining activities were covered in these sections. The developers classify the participating object into the entity, boundary, and control object. Is define entity object, which is in a section 5.4.1, define boundary object as well in 5.4.2, and define control object in section 5.4.3 in the book. These activities occur in tight loop until most of the functionality of the system has been identified as use case with the name and brief description. Then the developer construct sequence diagram, identify any missing object. In previous lecture we discussed about the sequence diagram. Why sequence diagram is required? To identify the missing object. Object should not be missed, so we have to create the sequence of one object with another object with another, and next of that object. So all there should be a sequence diagram to identify the missing object, and which is defined in interaction section 5.4.4. When all the entity objects have been named and briefly described, the analysis model should remain fairly stable as it is refined. You look at the figure analysis activity UML activity diagram, and this is the summary. This is the summary of define use case, define participating object, define entity object, define boundary object, control object, and all. Just a minute, I have a call. Hello. Yes. Hi, बोला. मी थोड्या वेळाने कॉल करून सांगतो तुम्हाला, विचारू. दीड पर्यंत लेक्चर. ओके. So this is the figure of analysis activity, and there define the entity object, define the interaction, define the control object, and define the interaction in between the object, control object, association, define attributes, define state dependent behavior, define solid state model and review model. This is the summary model, summary diagram we have designed using UML activity diagram. This is the activity diagram of the analysis summary. uh, Define association, define attributes, and define state dependent behavior, which is already discussed in 5.4.9, and constitute the refinement of the analysis model. These three activities occur in tight loop, during which the state of the object and their association are extracted from the sequence diagram and details. The use case are then modified to account for any change in the functionality. This phase may lead to the identification of an additional chunks of the functionality in the form of additional use case. The overall process is then repeated incrementally for these new use case. During the consolidate model, the developer solidify the model by introducing quantifier and generalization relationship and supporting redundancy. During the review model, the client, user, and developer examine the model of the correctness, consistency, completeness, and realism. All we have studied in this analysis. The project schedule should plan for multiple review to ensure high quality requirement and provide the opportunity to learn the requirement activities. However, once the model reach the point where the modification are coming, the system design should proceed. There will become a point during the requirement where no more problem can be anticipated without further information for prototyping, usability studies, technology survey, and or design. So prototyping, usability studies, technology survey, or the system design are very much important for anticipating the problem. Getting every details right become a wasteful exercise. Some of this detail will become irrelevant by the next change. The management should recognize these points and initiate the next phase in the project. So these are the summary of analysis. Now we are going towards the managing analysis, how to manage the analysis. In this section, we discuss issue related managing the analysis activity in a multi-team development project. The primary challenge in the managing requirement in such a project is to maintain the consistency while using so many resources. It is very challenging to maintaining the consistency for developing the multi-team project. In the end, the requirement analysis document should describe a single coherent system understandable to the single person also. And we first describe a document template that can be used to document the result of analysis. The next we describe the role assigned to the analysis. We then address the communication issues during the analysis. Next, we address the management issue related to the interactive and incremental nature of the requirements. And as we saw, this is the managing analysis. Now, documenting analysis. How to document. As we saw in the previous chapter, the requirement elicitation analysis activity are documented in the requirement analysis document. RAD model, Rapid Action Development Model, we have designed. Figure 5.20. RAD section 1 through the 3.5.2 have already been written during the requirement elicitation. During the analysis, we revise this section as the ambiguity and the new functionality are discovered. The main effort, however, the focus on writing the sections documenting the analysis object model. The object model document in detail all the objects we identified, their attributes, and when we use the sequence diagram operations. As each object is described with the textual definition and relationship among the objects are illustrated with the class diagram. RAD section 5.4 3.5.4 dynamic model is there, and that documents the behavior of the object model in terms of the state machine diagram and sequence diagram. Although this section redundant with the use case model, dynamic model enables use to represent more precise complex behavior, including the use case involved in many actors. And after that we studied the once complete and published will be baseline and put under the configuration management. This revised the history sections of the RAD will provide a history of change of including the another responsibility for each change, the date of change, and the brief description of the change. You look at this figure overview outline of the requirement analysis document RAD, which is seen in figure 4.16 for a detailed outline. You can see that figure. In this, the requirement analysis documents are first introduction, then current system, then proposed system. In that, the overview, functionality requirement, non-functional requirement, and system model. In system model, scenario, use case model, object model, and in object model, data dictionary and class diagram. And dynamic models, user interface, navigational path, and screen mock-up. And last point is the glossary in the requirement analysis document. All these points are the very important for documenting the analysis of the software development. The analysis require the participation of wide range of the individual. The target user provide application domain knowledge, and the client funds the project and coordinate the user side of the efforts. The analyst elicit the application domain knowledge and formalize it. So these are the roles assigned and the responsibilities of each of the individual who are participated in the software development. So the client funds the project and coordinate the user side of the efforts. Client provide the fund, client provide the money to the project development, and coordinate the user side of the efforts. What are the efforts required to use the software, that should coordinate by the client who will purchase the software. He will coordinate the users how that software will be used in future after development of the basis that should be there. The analyst elicit the application domain knowledge and formalize it. Developer provide the feedback on feasibility and cost. The project manager coordinates the efforts on the development side. Developer provide the feedback on feasibility and the cost. The project manager coordinate the efforts and the developer side. So we have to keep in mind the roles of the developer, role of the clients, role of the manager, project manager. For large system, many users, analysts, and developers may be involved in the introducing for large project or large system. In additional challenges during the interaction and the communication requirement of the project. These challenges can be made by assigning well-defined role and scope of the individuals. There are three main type of roles: generation of generation of information, integration and review. These three main type of roles are there. The end user is applicable. The end user is the application domain expert who generate information about the current system, the environment of the future system, and the task it supports. Each user corresponds to one or more actors and help identify their association use cases. So we have to understand the end user application domain expert. End user is the application domain expert. End user is the application domain expert. We have to keep this in mind, because who generate the information about the current system, how the current software is, who generate it, the end user generate it, the environment of the future system as well know to the end user, the user of the software. Each user correspond to one or more actors. Sometimes one user may act as a dispatcher as well as the field officer, like this. Two roles may assign to one person. The client and integration role define the scope of the system based on user requirements. Different user may have different view of the system, and either because they will benefit from different part of the system, example a dispatcher versus the field officer, or become the users have different opinion or expectations about the future system. The client serve as an integrator of application domain information and resolve the inconsistencies in the user expectation. We should know the role. The analyst is the application domain expert. Analyst is the application domain expert who model the current system and generate the information about the future system. Each analyst is initially responsible for detail one or more use cases, and for the set of use cases, the analyst will identify a number of objects, their association, and their attributes using the technique outlined in section 5.4. What is the role of analyst? Analyst is the application domain expert, and he has uh, use case. He know the association. He know the number of objects, how much number of objects are there, how much attributes are there, which techniques are there, all known to the analyst of the software development. And the analyst is typically a developer with the broad application domain knowledge. Another type of user is the architect. The architect and integration role unifies the use case and object model from a system point of view. It is integration role. Architect's role is the integration role, and a different analyst may have different style of modeling and different view of the part of the systems for which they are not responsible. Although the analysts work together and will most likely resolve differences as they progress through the analysis. The role of the architect is necessary to provide the system philosophy. The role of architect is necessary to provide the system philosophy and identify the omission in the requirement, which part is not required in the software, uh, that can be defined by the architect. Architect know which part we can omit from the uh, software. And another type of responsibility is the document editor. He is the responsible for low level integration of the document and for the overall format of the document and its index. And Another type of role is the configuration manager, and the configuration manager is responsible for maintaining revision history of the document as well as the traceability information related to the RAD with other document, such as the system design document is there at the configuration management. Configuration management's main role is the history. He maintain the history of the documents. And the reviewer validate the RAD for correctness, completeness, consistency, and clarity. Users, client, developers, or other individual may become the reviewer during the requirement validation. Who become the reviewer? There may be question in final exam. Who become the reviewer? User become the reviewer, client become the reviewer, developer become the reviewer, and also other individual may become the reviewer during the requirement validation. Once we have gathered the information from user, we have to validate that information with user, we have to validate that information with the client, we have to validate that information with the developer also. The individuals that have not yet been involved in the development represent excellent reviews because they are more able to identify ambiguities and areas that need clarification. So, the individual that have not yet been involved in the development represent excellent reviewers. The size of the system determination, the number of different user and analysts that are needed to elicit and model the requirement. In all cases, there should be one integration role on the client side and one on the developer side. So, in the end, the requirement, however large the system should be understandable by the single individual knowledgeable in the application domain. To understand the large system, we have to follow all these roles. We have to assign all these roles and responsibility to the persons, to the stakeholders, to developers, to user, and the clients also. Communication about analysis. The next point is the communication about analysis. The task of communication information is most challenging during the requirement elicitation, and the contributing factors include different background of the participant. There may be the different background of participant like users, clients, and developers have different domain of expertise and use different vocabularies to describe the same concept. Different expectations of the stakeholders, users, clients, and managers have different objectives when defining the system. User can say different thing, client can say different thing, or manager says some intermediate in the users and clients. There may vary confusions. Users want a system that support their current work process with number of interfaces or thread to their current position. Example, an improvement system often translate into the elimination of current positions. If we want to upgrade the system, then current system will be eliminated, current system will not be used in the next developed system. So there is the expectations, different expectation, developers has different expectation, manager want to develop very good type of a system, but client and user want only the current work should be happen properly by our software. These are the communications analysis. The client want to maximize the returns on investment. Management want to deliver the system on time. Manager want to deliver system on time, and client want minimum minimum investment and maximum refund from that system. Different expectations and different stakes in the project can lead to a reluctance to share the information and to report the problem in timely manner. New team. New team requirement elicitation and analysis often mark the beginning of new object. This translates into the new participations and new team assignment, and thus into a ramp up period during which the team member must learn to work together. Suppose we have selected new team for old project, then they need some time, some during ramp up period to upgrade their knowledge about the current system, and then that will be cope up. Also involving system. When a new system is developed from scratch, terms and concepts related to the new system are in flux during the most of the analysis and the system design. A term may have different meaning tomorrow. No requirement method or communication mechanism can be address problem related to the interwork polities. No requirement method or communication mechanism can address problem related to the politics and information hiding. Conflict objects and the competition will always be a part of large development project. A few simple guidelines, however, can help in managing the complex of the conflicting view of the system. Define the clear territories. To define the complex, to solve the complex system, we have to define first clear territories. Define the role as described in section 5.5.2 is a part of this activity. This also includes the definition of the private and public discussion forum. For example, each team may have a discussion database as described in chapter 3. The project organization and communication and discussion with the client is done on a separate client database. The client should not have access to the internal database. Similarly, the developer should not interface with the client users' internal politics. Also, define the clear objective and success criteria. The The co-definition of clear, measurable and verifiable objectives and success criteria by both the client and the developer facilities the resolution of the conflict. Note that the define the clear and the verifiable object is the non-trivial task, given that it is easy to leave the objectives open-ended. The objective and the success criteria of the project should be documented in section 1.3 already we studied. Also, for communication, we need brainstorm. Brainstorm, putting all stakeholders in the same room and to quickly generate the solution and define can remove many barrier in communication. Conducting review as a reciprocal activity, that is review deliverable from both the client and the developer during the same session has similar effect. Brainstorming and more generally the cooperative development of the requirement can lead to the definition of shared ad hoc notation for supporting the communications. storyboard, user interface sketch, and high level data flow diagram often appear spontaneously. We have to use storyboard, we have to use a sketch interface, and different data flow diagrams as we studied. As the information about the application domain and the new system occur, it is critical that a precise and the structured notation be used. In UML, developers employ use case and scenarios for communicating with the client and the user, and use objective object diagram, sequence diagram, and the state machine to communicate with the developers. We also latest release requirements should be available to participate, and maintaining a live online version of the requirement analysis document with an up-to-date change history facility the timely propagation of change across. Now next point is the interaction over the analysis model. After communication, interaction over the analysis model. Then brainstorming, then solidification and maturity. Client sign off. This point we will study in the next lecture. If you have any doubt regarding document analysis, you can ask questions. Do you have any question? Otherwise, today we will stop here. If you have any question regarding the communication about the analysis, assigning responsibility, document analysis, managing a summary, and managing analysis. Do you have any question regarding the? Do you have any question regarding this? If you have any doubt, any question regarding this, please ask. Otherwise, we will stop. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day. Bye. You can join another lecture and you can leave this lecture. Okay, bye. Have a nice day.